Hello, I am Spyral Rainbow, and I am playing my character Scrumptious Lumpkin in City of Villains, which is kind of the opposite world to the well-known hero game City of Heroes. Hello, and welcome to this interview.
Good morning, YouTube. Welcome, everyone, to another MMO Anthropology interview. I'm here with Spyral Rainbow in the lovely area of Sharkhead Isle, which is in City of Villains. As you can see, it's kind of dismal and overcast. And say hello, Spyral.
Hello, Spyral.
As I've always said, I love this character of yours, Scrumptious Lumpkin, right?
Yes, this is also my favorite character.
What's the character class that you're playing, aside from Sparkly Vampire?
A brute.
What designates a brute in the City of Villains?
They like to punch and beat people up. They don't use a whole lot of fancy magic or technology. It's simply head-to-head combat.
That brings me to my first question, actually, which is, why did you choose City of Heroes?
Just because my friends play it mostly. You know, I've played a lot of different ones. I tend to stick to fantasy genre, but this one was kind of outside of that, and I have friends who are into comic books, and so these kind of heroes, these kind of outlandish and, you know, archetypal roles are kind of fun and different from what I'm used to playing.
Also, one of the things that I've always loved about City of Heroes is they have a vast character creation and expression engine for generating something that you want to play. Can you talk a little bit about why you chose pink kilts and pink sparkles and wings?
I don't know, it just kind of evolved from, you know, they have 3 character classes. You can have female or male, and then you can have this giant thing. So I kind of wanted to go with something really large. Some of the other characters we've played, we often play little tiny pixies that like to, you know, go around and kill people and fight. So I decided this would be kind of a good a difference to that. So something very large, and then the pink and sparkly just kind of evolved over time. It's just something that, you know, a kid would put together of, you know, their nightmare savior kind of thing.
He certainly does look like a brute. Oh wow, look, the sun's coming up. And that actually opens up my next question, which is, what kind of MMO games do you play on a regular basis, which I assume is probably this one?
Yeah, it's this one mostly. I have played WoW in the past, kind of played that to death. I haven't really played it recently, so I'm not really sure of all the different world resets. So anything with a fantasy theme, I played a lot of Final Fantasy Online. It's actually probably my favorite one ever to play. It was mostly because I like to do a lot of crafting and fishing, and, you know, the world is just very cute. It's very imaginative. And you can do a lot of solo things where, you know, in other games it's not quite as easy to do that.
So, when you play games, what goes into helping you choose a particular MMO over another? I mean, like, you started with the fantasy aspect. Is that something that has a tendency to keep you there, or is it about how they treat the players or other people to play with?
It's really about story, and if I can get my friends to play too. If my friends are playing it, I'll be more than likely to stick with it, which explains why we're kind of here in the heroes realm today. For other fantasy games, I like doing a lot of the solo missions, just exploring. Is the story really engaging? You know, what can you do? You know, if you don't have a whole pack of people with you, what can you do other than go and fight and level up? So if it has crafting, you know, I kind of like that. If it's got a good story, I really like the story. The story here is pretty good. It's very typical of your comic book adventures here in the City of Villains and Heroes.
Yeah, so there's bad guys. You go beat them up, and you carry on the plot.
Yes, as a villain myself, because this is my character. He's actually a villain, although he is, you know, a good guy at heart. But we gotta, stick with the theme here. We're in City of Villains, where the
Right.
villains rule. So we do beat up other bad guys as well as heroes. We love to beat up Longbow. That's probably our favorite thing to do as a villain.
And Longbow is a hero group, right?
Right, they're kind of like the police force of the area. So anytime you have Longbow, it's like you get them. So if you do a bank robbery, which is a big thing to do here, you can go and rob banks for points and prestige and whatnot. You'll be fighting a lot of Longbow if you just go on a mission like that.
So it's kind of the flip side of being a hero.
Yeah, and it's basically what's kept me in the game a lot more. We do play heroes sometime. That's our current games involve the hero storyline, but this one is probably my favorite. We took a break from it just to see some of the new content that's come out. There are also a special class called rogues that are kind of the bridge between heroes and villains. So it's interesting. So I mean, they've got a lot of different things. One of the new features that they've come out with, since this is a game that has changed models to a free to play versus a free you had to buy it and then you had to pay monthly. I still pay monthly. You get a lot of the cool features, but if you switch to free to play, you can do a limited extent, but it gets a lot more people to come in and play. But because I've got lots of veteran points for being here since I think 2005. I didn't really want to give that up, so I'm still paying for it. Might not be worth it, but I think it's fun, and you get free access to their extra story arcs and campaigns in that nature, where they come out with a new story every month or so to keep people engaged who've been playing for a while and need something to keep them around.
True. And speaking of sticking around and stuff like that, I'm wondering, how do you use online game playing like MMO games differently than you use other entertainment such as books or movies?
It's really the interactivity. You can really, go in and fiddle with things. You can do things on your own. It's really, if you really like to be in control of things, and it's a way you can have that outlet without having the skills of, if you can't write, or if you can't, make a movie to express, the dark side or the fantasy side. This is a great area where you can actually be more involved than it would be if you are reading a book or watching a TV show or movie.
And finally, I'm wondering, do you have a favorite experience that you had in an MMO game to relate to our audience?
Yeah, I think that in another incarnation of this game, we had a group where we all played those little pixies, and we kind of dressed similarly, and it was kind of like a schoolyard gang of schoolgirls who would go around and beat up the bad guys, and I think that that's a lot of fun. We used to play it, and we would all be different. I would, try to make myself like the tallest one of the pixies or something like that to kind of, we all had something that would make us a different, as different, but we were still all part of the group, and it was good because we were like a schoolgirl clique, even though we might have not have all been girls, but we were playing all the girl characters, and it was fun. So that was probably my favorite experience involving other people in an MMORPG.
Oh yeah, I remember that because they were all the shortest possible character with a female, and they were all wearing the plaid skirts, and they had wings in most cases. Well,
yep,
oh, go ahead.
And we would just go beat people up.
Yes.
Oh, we would just go beat people up, and that was it. It was fun, and that's one of the reasons why I like the heroes. You don't get a whole. There is a good story, but you don't have to get bogged down with here's this quest and this quest, and you have to find this thing, and and then you can do it all over again. It's a little bit more fun and lighthearted in that kind of a scenario, and it's great for just if you only have 20 minutes, half an hour a day to play. The little missions are great for that.
Right. That's about as many questions as I've got for this interview. Is there anything that you'd like to add for our viewers before we sign ourselves off?
Oh, I think it's great. You should come and check this game out. You might like it. It might be different from all of the other kinds of MMORPGs out there. If you want to take a break from the real fantasy and WoW sort of games, this is a great imaginative and fun game to play.
Well, thank you for coming along to this interview, Spyral. To everyone else, this has been Spyral Rainbow in City of Heroes. We're in lovely Sharkhead Isle. Whoa. And To everyone watching, farewell, good night, and good dreams.
Do you play online games? Do you have Skype? Then we'd love to interview you on Massive Online Anthropology. Join the fascinating thousands who've spoken about their online gaming experience and be the envy of all your friends. Or at least get the MMO Anthropology Geek Merit Badge. Sorry, no t-shirt. See you then!